Welcome back to Dented Sense. If you're new here, thank you for joining. And if you've been here from the beginning, I do appreciate your support and welcome back. Today I will be talking about Nishane Hacivat, a fragrance that a lot of people call a masterpiece, a signature scent. Some even call it create adventures done right. But I am going to say something that might upset a lot of folks. So here we go. This fragrance is one that gets a lot of love in the community. But is it universally wearable as people pretend it is? Now let's get into it. Hacivat has reached nearly legendary status when it comes to the fragrance community. It's niche, it's straight, it's powerful. It's known to be uplifting, elegant, ridiculously long-lasting. People praise it as refined, joyful, clean, and I agree with most of that. But real life wear is different from hype, and I've got a story that proves exactly why. So here we go. I wore Hacivat one afternoon and I ran into my neighbor. She stopped me mid-conversation and said, "What are you wearing? You smell good." I told her it's Hacivat from the house of Nishane. A few days later, she bought it for a bottle for her, not for herself, but for her husband. Fast forward a couple of weeks later or weekends later, I saw her at the community pool, and her husband both were at the community pool. They both raved about it. They both loved it. She thought it smelled clean and expensive. And he thought, he felt confident because his wife loved it and he loved it. Now that right there tells you something about how important the fragrance is. Hacivat gets noticed and remembered. But here's the part that no one talks about. And we are going to find that out in the note breakdown. So stay with me. Now, in the note breakdown, we have the top notes as bergamot, pineapple, and grapefruit. The opening is fantastic, bright, juicy, confident. The pineapple is refreshing, not syrupy, not juvenile, just uplifting and refreshing. The citrus lifts everything up, like it makes it feels like clean luxury vibe, if you catch what I'm saying. This part here is hard to hate, the top notes, everything is crowd pleasing and energetic. The hard note is jasmine, patchouli, and cedarwood. As it settles down, it becomes greener, more structured, more refined, more polished. It begins to feel more mature and more intentional, less playful and more composed. The base note is clearwood, oakmoss, dry timberwood. And this is where my issue starts. The oakmoss comes through in the dry down, and while I personally enjoy it, this note can take a turn for the worse when it comes to being in a few environments like the office space. Oakmoss is an earthy, slightly bitter, almost damp green quality to it. In the right setting, it can smell classy, like old money refined. But in closed office spaces and cubicles and shared office spaces, it becomes dicey. Now, it feels heavy and borderline intrusive in those environments like closed office space. This is where Hacivat stops being a safe, fresh fragrance for me and starts being an assertive, fresh fragrance for your coworkers. Or my coworkers, at least in my case. Now, when it comes to longevity, I have no issues with this fragrance. Clearly, you can get up to 8 to 12 hours on the skin, even longer on your clothes. Still noticeably after 6 hours. When it gets closer, it becomes more of a skin scent, but it's still noticeable. It's S-rated perform, so do not overspray it. 2 to 4 sprays max. Anything more than that, and you're asking for trouble. Projection in sillage. Early on, projection is strong. People will notice you. Sillage is smooth but persistent. This is not a fragrance you disappear in. And again, this is why I hesitate to call it perfect for the office. Control spray, yes. Heavy hand spray, absolutely not. Where and where to wear it? I'll say daytime settings, brunch, lunch, dates, social events, traveling, summertime, spring, early fall. I tend to associate summer with more fresh fragrances, but this, since it's an S-rated perfume, it certainly could work for the winter because it has the strength enough to cut through all of the frigid temperature. I wouldn't wear it in tight office spaces or small conference rooms or even hot indoor environment. This fragrance does like air, so it can move around. So if there's a lot of air movement, yes, this will be one of the places that you want to wear it. Pros and cons. Let's get right into it. Incredible longevity, strong projection in sillage, smells clean, refined, luxurious, crowd pleasing with a niche quality, compliment magnets, definitely. Cons. Oakmoss can feel heavy indoors, not as office safe as people claim. Overspray will punish you. If you overspray it, definitely not gonna get that impression that you want, put it that way. Price point isn't friendly for everyone, and the Creed Adventures comparison won't stop if you think about it, because most people tend to think it's a clone of Creed Adventures, but it does have some similarities, but there's a lot of differences. I like to put it that way. My final thoughts: Hacivat is excellent, but it's not perfect. It's bold, elegant, long-lasting, undeniably high quality, and people around you will notice. Some will even love it, but pretending it's a spray everywhere type fragrance, anytime, anywhere fragrance, I don't buy that. If you respect the oakmoss and you control the number of sprays in a closed environment, Hacivat, Nishane Hacivat really shines. And ignoring these can turn this into somewhat an overwhelming situation. Still, this is absolutely a perfect or well put together fragrance, and it does warrant the reputation that it has in the community. Let me know in the comments, do you wear Hacivat to the office? Do you think it's office safe? Or do you just do social events and or outings? For more real world fragrance review, please like, subscribe, and follow Dented Scents. And I'll catch you on my next video.